Okay, I'm back again for another video, and this one is how to make origami cyclops creature. And this one is this will be the latest one that I'm doing that has the uses that muscular origami torso, that paper torso that I made up and I puffed out to use in the muscular Minotaur and the merman, both the merman, how to make origami merman part 1 and part 2. They both have that muscular torso effect. So I'm going to use that torso this time with the cyclops that I made up about a week ago or so. So once again, you know, it's making origami diamonds again. So here's the origami diamond from the here's the origami diamond that I have prepared. This will be the lower half of the cyclops legs, so reddish brown diamond. So you see it looks like that. You've seen all my videos, so many of my videos I'm doing the diamond, but I'll make the first diamond for anybody who hasn't seen me make the diamond. It's a base fold 3 is what it's otherwise known as. So I put that down. Here's a sheet of paper, pink paper, and it's regular origami paper, white on one side, pink on the other, and it's 9 3/4 inches, you know, both sides, both here and here and here and here. You know, each side is 9 inches and 3/4, 9 3/4 inches. So I'll take that and I fold it over, fold it in half in a triangle pattern. Done this so many times now. Should be very familiar to people who do origami. See, so now I folded it over as a triangle. I fold it over again to make it a still smaller triangle. Okay, see, so you see I made it smaller. There are origami figures that are so intricate that you have such a huge, big sheet of paper to, you know, when you do so many folding steps, it really shrinks down. But these origami I'm doing, of course, admittedly, are not that intricacy. But the good thing about it is that you don't have to wait so long to see the end result. It also makes it easier to make a video than if it's not, you know, 80 steps or something like that. I'm not putting down the origami that's 80 steps. It's just, you know, I think it's a nice aspect of not having to have to wait as long. Of course, when I do my hand-drawn animation, that's thousands of drawing. That you have to wait a long time. So, you know, it's all the pluses and cons, I guess, of just about anything that's creative. Okay, so see, I folded this over. See, so it was like this, and then I fold it down like this. See, now I'm going to squash down. Squashed it down, so I took this, see, it was over here, and I push it down there, see, it squashes it down to a square on that side. And I'm going to do the same thing with this side. Again, this is the classic diamond. If you've done a lot of origami, you should be familiar with, or even just some origami. See, I'm making the square, squashing down, making the square on the other side. And again, things have to line up neatly. This will be one whole video and not a two-parter. So I'm going to do everything. Like with the Minotaur one, I'm going to do it all in one video. I try to do it better each time and demonstrating it. See there, see? Now see, it looks like this on this side, and it looks like this on this side. And again, you can open it up a bit move the flap up to see that there are two paper points here. It's important to see these two paper flap points. See here, right there, see there, and there. If you see those both there, then you know you've done it right. Okay, so now I'm going to take it and folding these flaps. See, this was like this. I'm going to fold the other one in like that. This is, again, the idea is to make the kite shape. So again, try to do it as neatly as you can. The neater you do it, the better the finished figure looks. Okay, see? Looks like this on this side. I'm going to take this side and do the same thing that I did on this side. I'm going to do it on this side. So again, it's like folding it into this kite shape. Getting closer to it being that proper diamond. Okay, see, looks like this on this side, looks like this on this side. And I fold this top triangle down just to make the crease. See? And I pull this paper point up. I'm using the same seams I just folded in there. Press this paper down. See how it looks there on this side. Do the same thing with this side over here. See? Try to keep it all as neat as you can. Often I wind up tightening it up a bit as I go along. You know, make little adjustments. Try to have it so that the white of the paper doesn't show through at this stage. The tighter you can make it all come together, you know, the better it looks. Okay, so there, see that looks good there. That's one side of the diamond done. I'll take this side here and do the same thing. So this side here looks like this side here. Again, pull this paper point up. And you can see me do this at the beginning of so many of the other videos. So that's why if you look at the other videos, it should become familiar to you. I really like how the Cyclops figure came out using this torso. That's why I'm doing it now, so that you can see it on YouTube. Little adjustment. Make this as neat as we can. So I'm going to neaten up as I go along. So I'm just pinching it here and there. Just trying to make it as neat as I can. Tidy it up. Okay, just about there. Okay, good. See? So it looks like, see, it looks like this on this side. So see, it looks like this on this side. And it looks like this on this side. Okay? So that's the two diamonds. Now, okay. So here, now I'm going to pull down. I'm going to pull down both of these flaps. See this flap and this flap here. And I'm going to cut that top triangle off. I've done that a good number of times now. Where I cut off the top triangle, which later will enable me to puff out the paper chest, which I like so much. So there, see, I cut this off. This was here, see? This was here, when I cut it off. And it looks like I said, it looks like the shape is like a cartoon gemstone that you see in animated cartoons who represent a diamond, you know, a jeweled diamond. And you cut this part off, see? See, now I'll push both flaps back up like this. And then I will take these bottom folds here, and I will push this flap inwards, inside reverse fold, and swash down here, see, like that. That's to form one of the arms, and I will do the same thing with the other one. Lift this flap up by pushing it. It's again inside reverse fold. See, so now they're both like that. So this is one arm over, this is one arm, so this is one arm over here, this is one arm over here, and this is one arm over here, like that. Okay, so I did that, and okay, now one of these flaps goes back down. Okay, so I push this flap down here, like this. So this part here, this part turned towards you, that's the back of the Cyclops' body. That's his back. And this here is his front. So this is his front, and this is his back. Okay. Alright, so now I will just start to cut. See, it's just cutting above, just above this top of the arm here. I will just start to cut at a slant. See, this is just to start to form the neck, and which leads to the head. So I'm just trying out it just on one side first. Okay, that looks good. See, this was here like this, and I folded it over. So I will do the same thing I did over here. I will now do it over here. I will do the same thing. Okay, see, I'm trying to do it as evenly as I can on both sides. Alright, that's about right. I try to do it equal on both sides. I do the same thing. I'm doing the same thing now where I'm flapping this part of it towards me. This is forming the neck and the head. Okay. And see, as I look at it, I know just what I want it to look like. I think of cutting a little deeper, make the neck a little thinner. The Minotaur, I on purpose left the Minotaur's neck rather wide because it's a bull neck, it's a bull head. This one I think, cut it a little deeper, make the cuts so the neck is thinner. Just fold this in a little more. I have the paper overlap in the front of the neck, just a little. See, the neck is both this piece and the merman one. The neck is thinner than the Minotaur. Has a rather thick bull neck. Okay, so see, now it looks like this. See, so this is the front. This is from the two flaps folded inwards like that to form the neck. See, this is the front, and this is the back. Okay, and then we can fold this flap down, starting to form the head. See, okay, if you so now it looks like this. See, that's the front of the head, that's a facial area. So it looks like this from the front. Yeah, like that from the front. Okay, and I can fold this up. See. A little higher. So it's like I have the points here near the top of this folded top here, which will eventually become a nose with a horn at the end of it, like I have on my origami ogre. Okay. See, and again, I make little adjustments as I go along to ultimately, because the whole idea is you want it to make it look good. So. Maybe I'll move this up just a little, fold this lower part up just a little higher. The idea is to have the folded nose right in the center. Okay, good, that looks good. See? So now the horn, the nose with a little horn on it, is now in the front like that. See? I took that paper point and folded it a bit down, overlapping. See? So it's like it was like this earlier, and then I pushed it down to make a nose that has a horn on the very tip of the nose. Now I could have folded the horn to, could have folded that paper point to look like a regular human nose. You can see that on the merman, on how to make origami merman part 2. You can see that I made a regular, regular square-like human nose. But here I have just I have this point on the end, just because it's kind of like a grotesque detail. He has a horn at the end of his nose. I have that with the ogre in my animation, and the origami ogre I have earlier. See, so that's just, I just like having that touch. It shows, it certainly helps to drive home the point that he's not human. You know, he has a horn at the end of his nose, kind of like a rhinoceros horn at the end of a rhinoceros's snout. So it's just one of those details you add that tells you this is a fantasy creature. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now that I've done that with the face, now I'll go back to the arms. See, so now you're looking at him from back view. This is his back view. And I just take the arms, I've done this before. I just start to fold it, do an inside reverse fold, and I'm folding the arm. See, I just did it. I just did it right there. Folding it inwards, downwards, at a diagonal. Origami, I realize there's a lot of diagonals. A lot of diagonals that you make. So see, this is going down. Now I will do just the opposite. I will push this back up. So it's another inside reverse fold going the up direction. And again, it makes this nice indentation that makes the upper and lower half of the arms. So there, see, I just did this. This point was down. Now I've pushed it back up. See, so it looks like this from front view. See, and of course I will do the same thing that I did over here. I will now do it over here. Do the same thing. And you can vary it somewhat so that the arms are not exactly parallel. In other words, where there's some little difference. One could be higher up than the other one. You know, just to vary it a bit. So that one is maybe in a higher position than the other one. But you could also have it be identical if you want. But this is the general idea. Yeah, see, so I did the same thing. What I did on this arm now, I now did this arm over here. So turn it around. This is how it looks from the front. This is how it looks from the front. This is how it looks. Oh yeah, see, yeah. This is how it looks from the front, and this is how it looks from the back. Okay. And before I proceed, I glue these pieces together to form the shoulders. So this is where, again, I don't mind doing a little glue. It helps to firm things up. I just glue these two little, again, this is making diagonal folds, just these two flaps here. And both have them look the same on both sides. So, and it suggests muscular shoulders. Okay, see, so what I just did, see, I folded the two pieces that were here on this edge, I folded inwards at a slant. I'm going to glue those two together, where I did it, so that that holds together. I'll do the same thing on this side. You can also push the arms. Also, I like to do this. I like to pull down the arms just a little more. See, I just pull it down a little more, and then squash down on the fold. This is just to lower them a bit. I like to do that when it comes to this one. That's it. Yeah, see? That makes it easier to do what I just want to do with these little folded flaps here. See, I'm doing the same thing that I did on the other shoulder, folding in these. See, just like that. Yeah. See, again, I make little adjustments as I go along, just to neaten it up. Okay, good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. So now, see, now it looks like this. See, now it looks like this on this side. See, it looks like this on this side, and this on this side. And I will take the Elmer's glue. I'll take the glue, and I will just put a little glue. Here, come on now. Now, I said, just put a little glue. Okay, put a little glue there. I'll put a little. I'm just putting it on those paper flaps I folded inwards, and then you just press it. So you can just press it. I'll hold it together a bit. So, just to help it to stick. Apply some pressure to both shoulders. Just take a moment. So, see, it's getting there. I think this will be maybe a little faster video than the Minotaur one, because again, I've had some more practice with this since then. Okay, just apply pressure. Okay, I've done that. Now fold the flaps, these points on the ends of the arms. I squash them down, fold and squash down to form the hands. So I try to always make them good sized monster hands in this case. There, see this point was up, and I just press down like that. See, and it makes a nice diamond shape for one hand. I'll do the same thing with this hand over here. I'll do the very same thing. You just take it and you squash it down. See? And of course you try to make them the same size. So it has a good suggested hand shape. Okay. All right, that looks Good, that looks right to me there. See? I took the point that was up and I just press it down and squash down. And see how it makes a nice diamond-shaped hand. See here and here. So again, this is how it looks from the front. That's from the front there. From the front. Now I will take the scissors and see what I'm doing is I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut just like from here, from the tip of the shoulder. It's really cutting from the tip of the shoulder right here and cut upwards on this side of the paper to this middle part of the fold. So I'm like cutting from here, to right about there. See where that fold is there. The idea is to make that a paper thumb. So I will do that now. See, this is how I'm doing it. I try to hold it towards the camera. It's always a little tricky to try to keep it in the camera range. See, yeah, I think like that. You can see it there. If I hold it low, and you can see that there. So I'm going to take that and I'm just cutting all the way to the middle of that crease. See? Well, see, that's what I did. See this right here? That will become a thumb. See? So now I'm turning it towards me. I'm going to fold this under and turn it towards you. See? See this flap? See, I folded that under like that. See, it was up, it was out like this. And I fold it. See, I fold it under like that to start forming a thumb. And then I'll fold the tip down. See? See how that suggests a pointy thumb? See? Like that. See right there? How it forms a pointy thumb there, see? Okay. And then I can form this point down. See? It's always these kind of fussy details. There, see what I did there? See, I folded that point down, and then I cut two slits in there to form two fingers. And to form three fingers. So I will do that now. Here I'm cutting one slit all the way up to that fold I just made. Another slit. Okay. And then I'll fold these up and then down. His idea is to form pointy fingers. They're kind of like a monster pose position. Okay, see there, see? I cut slits in there and I folded that point back up and then fold the paper fingers down like in the middle. And it helps to form this kind of monster hand that's in a kind of menacing position a bit. See? So you have the pointy fingers. So he has 4 pointy fingers there. And I'll do the same thing with the other tip. So now I'm going to cut the other thumb again, starting on this side towards me, cutting from the shoulder, the slit, all the way up to that folded edge. See there, I did it again. See, here's this thing. See, that's going to be a thumb. This is going to be a thumb. So I turn it back towards me. and fold this in. See, I tuck the paper point underneath. See, now it looks like this. See, so it looks like this now. See, you see how this now is tucked under, and it suggests another pointy, sharp thumb. See. With sharp nails. And I will fold this point down. Okay. I did that again where I took this point and I folded it down. See? I took this point and I folded it down to form the fingers right there. And I will take the scissors and I will cut these two. Doing my best to keep this within camera range. I feel like I'm doing that pretty good. That's it. Okay. See, there's the other fingers there. See, the slits there, and I will fold those back and then back down again in the center of the fingers. I will do that. I turn it towards myself in order to do it. See, these little details always slow it down a bit, but they do make a difference in it looking impressive, to me anyway. So, okay, good, good. Okay. Okay. Alright, again, there could be little, these pointy fingers could be a little longer, but it's the right, again, it's the right idea. And again, you can make adjustments as you go along. But see, that's the right way. See? See how this hand looks here and how this hand looks here. I think I'll make the thumbs a little shorter. Just somewhat cut off a little longer than it should be. You can have the other way where the thumb could be too short. Maybe just a little longer. So I just cut off a tip off of one of the thumbs. Otherwise, I'm pleased with how it looks. Okay, there. See, I just shortened them just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Okay, but that looks good. That looks good. Okay. So see, the thumbs look like that. See? So here's the fingers here on this hand, here's the fingers here on this hand. Now I go back up to the head. And I'll just putting a couple of diagonal creases just above that flat top line of the head. To me, it makes it look a little more three-dimensional. And fold this over. See, I'm just taking this and pinching it here. See? Move this down. See? I fold that down to make the face come down. See, it's taking the shape now. We're getting near the end of doing this torso part. Okay, now this is the back. This is the back side of the figure, and I'm going to cut a couple of paper ears from the back. See, right near the top of this, the back. So you have these two pointy ears that look like they're coming out of his sides of his head. I formed them here on this back side here, and here I'm going to cut them to fold them forward. I've done that earlier with the ogre. I'm going to do the same thing here. I had the points facing downwards for the Minotaur for like two long bull ears. These will be pointing upwards instead of downwards for two pointy human-like ears, but they have a point on them like an elf. So let's see, I'll just do it. Just doing it just close to the top from the back. So cutting a curve. Just cutting in two pointy ear shapes. See, now I just made that cut. Now I fold this forward. There we go. See, you see it? See right there. See how see right there how I pointed that flap out. See, turn it over on the other side. Maybe you'll be able to see the white of the paper there where I cut. See, this was over here like this, and I cut it so it comes forward. I press it forward like that. Now do the same thing, the exact same thing on the other side. Do it identical, make the cuts identical. Do it the same way. So the ears look the same on both sides. Idea is if you're making ears that point up and not point down. But the Minotaur was the opposite. It was making sure the ears point down like a Brahma bull or a wild bull. See? So now you see I did that. Fold this back down. See how the ears point upwards? Just like that. And it's cutting just the surface paper. It's cutting the paper that's on the surface on the back, not the paper underneath. So it looks like this from the back. See? Okay. And then I will pinch the ear. Just fold a bit of a crease. That again gives it a more, makes the ear look more dimensional. So I'm just pinching the ears, pinching the paper. Yeah, see? So you just pinch it to give it an ear shape so that the ear isn't flat. See? I pinch it there, then pinch it a little more. See, and that gives the ears a more dimensional look. I did the same thing with the ogre and here today. So he has pointy ears. Instead of rounded, they all come to a point and they point upwards. See, I can tweak it a little more. And see how that looks? See? That makes a difference. Okay, good. So we got all of that much there done. Now, this is what I did with making folding in the creases to help make the human torso. So the muscular torso. So for this, I start to fold. I'll first start to do it and then show you. I am pinching in a fold along a diagonal fold along the triangular part here, and then all the way up. See, just so I did this. I'm pinching along here, and then I'll show you. See, I turn it towards you, and you see I fold this crevice. See, I folded this crevice up along here all the way to this point here. So it goes from the very bottom of the point, folding upwards. See, folding this paper flap inward. You see, so that this is nice crease sticking out. And I fold that crease all the way up to this very tip here. So from here all the way to here, like that. Now I will do the same thing with this side here. So I turn it towards me so I can do it. And those creases will show in the finished figure when I pump the paper out. When I stick my finger into the top hole and I pump the paper out. So, and again, you try to do it so that the creases you fold in are identical on both sides. And it really helps to suggest a muscular torso when you pump it out. So it's easier to fold these creases in first before I pump out the torso body. Okay, that looks good. See? I'll turn it towards you to see how it's coming along. Okay, see? So now turn it towards you. See how it looks? See how it's shaping up? See how it's shaping up there? See? How it's looking like that? Now, I will then make another diagonals here. Now I'm having it towards me, and I will fold in a crease. This is folding in a diagonal to the center line, upwards diagonal. This is to help to form the muscular pecs. See, I just did it here. I just did it here where I fold it. See, from here to here like this. It's at a diagonal going up across this way to the center. I'll do the same thing over here. See? And again, you do it so that it's so that way his chest looks proper. It doesn't look lopsided. So that the muscular is to form again the muscular pecs. I did the same thing with the merman torso and with the minotaur torso, and I'm doing the same thing here. There. See? You should be able to see those creases on camera. See that? See how that looks? So those folded creases, I will pinch those folded creases again after this part is pumped out, which I will do after I glue it to the lower half of the body. But see how it's shaping up? See? Okay, so that's pretty much, that's almost nearly it. I think I'll just fold in just this, just to make the face a little thinner, not much. See, I'm just folding in just, and you know, you don't have, you know, these are like little details that I'm adding, but see, all I just did there, see, I'll turn it towards you, these two little edges that were sticking out, I just folded them in just a little. You don't have to do that. You can leave the face wider at bottom. For a more square-like chin, that would be fine. But you can do it either way. I did it, you know, so yeah, so that looks good. See? I'm going to fold this in half again, just to pinch this. I like to pinch the back of the neck at times. Okay? So now I'm going to draw on some details onto it, because it's easier for me to draw the details on it now, and then we'll proceed to the next half. So we're like halfway there now. So first I'm going to draw on an angry mouth. there's two other ones I made earlier that have a smiling mouth, so this one's going to have a sharp, toothy, angry, gritty mouth expression. And then there's the one eye that I will draw. Just near the top edge. It's an eye that's drawn right above the nose rather than one eye on one side of the nose and one eye on the other side of the nose. I'm going to draw him so that I'm going to draw the eye so it's looking downwards. The other ones I have the eye looking straight forward or a little bit to the side. Okay, that looks good. I have the one eyebrow. He only has one. Pressing down. Okay. Again, I make little adjustments as I go along. As I've said before, that's what I do. Just adjusting a bit for the eye. Okay. Alright, let me show you. I think that looks pretty good. So you should be able to see that. I hold the face towards the camera like that. You should be able to see the one angry eye looking down. He's gritting his teeth. He's got sharp pointy teeth, and it's in a gritting angry mouth rather than a smiling mouth. But you have the angry eye looking downwards. Maybe, you know, it's like you can think of the story of Odysseus, you know, the Odyssey. You could be looking, it could be like a cyclops looking down at Odysseus. See? So that should look good. That should look good on the on the video, on the camcorder. I'm pointing it towards the camera now. Okay, that looks good to me. And I think I'll draw on some green hair. You could leave your Cyclops bald. I think Harry Hawson's in The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, I think is bald. See, the other figures I've made where I've glued the hair on, and both the Cyclops and the Minotaur, it feels fine to me to just draw it on so that the hair is flat on the head. Others I want the hair to have a more three-dimensional look, so I make a paper hair piece and glue it on. See, my origami is less intricate folds, but I think you have to give me credit for imagination. I think if you have a good imagination, whether your figure has 80 folding steps or 20 folding steps, it'll show. Again, I like to draw my origami because it makes it look more like my animated characters that you can watch my animation, that are hand-drawn animations, so it makes it more connected to it. Okay, see. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, see, now he has green hair. Now he has green hair drawn onto the pink paper. Okay. So Now I'm going to make the second half of the body now. I'm going to make the lower half of the body. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that angry expression reads. It reads well. There's no white of the paper showing here either. That's good too. Do it as neat as you can. So there's no white of the paper showing on the front of the face. That could distract from that one central eye. Okay, let's look at it. There it is again. See? See how nice that face looks? That should show up well on camera. I'm aiming it towards the camera. That should look good. Okay, okay. See, we're getting there. See, and you have the folds. See, you have the folds there. Just pinch them in a little more. See, those creases will really add to it when I pump it out. But okay, so this is how it. So see, this is how it looks from the front. See, this is how it looks from the front. That's how it looks from the front. And this is how it looks from the back. See how nice? See? Okay, now put that over here. And now we're back to the round diamond. This is for the lower half of the body. This should go a little faster. So that's for the lower half. See, that's for like that. See? And I'm going to fold one of the flap down towards me. I fold it. See, this flap was up here like this. I folded it down, and you see this triangle here. And I will cut. I'm going to cut. Okay, I'll do the cut first and then show you. I've done this before many times. So I cut. Okay, so I just made a cut there. See? I cut here through the layers of paper. I cut this slit from here all the way up to this middle fold crease here, from here to here, and it's like parallel. It's a diagonal cut, and it's like the same diagonal as what you have along here. See, the diagonal is like this diagonal is parallel to this edge here. So now I'll do the same thing on this side over here, and you see this paper point. You know, that's important to see this point up here like that. So I'll do the same thing on the other side the same way, and you have the cuts be like the same length. See, again, try to do it as neatly as you can. See, and it's, again, it's at a diagonal. Okay, there you are. See? So you see the same cut the same way at a diagonal, starting here and going up at a diagonal all the way up to the center crease along here. See? And I'm going to fold this inward like this. See? Like this. And I fold the other part inward so that the two ends are like close together in the center. So this side that's towards me is the back, and the side I'm facing towards you is the front. See? So make it a little neater here. Just adjust a bit. Okay, yeah, see? So it looks like that. This is how it looks from the front, and this is how it looks from the back. See? Okay, now I'm turning it, but now I have the back side facing towards me, and I fold these paper points up like this. There goes one point, here goes the other point, and I always have, yeah, I'll show you again, there's always this little, I find this little space right here. You know, I make the crease a little below this point here, so there it is going up like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this flap on this side. See, so I did the same way on both sides. And I lift the paper points up like that. See? So it looks like this from the back. Again, this is a folding step for how to make the back legs of Origami Centaur, Origami Unicorn, Origami Pegasus Horse. But then I start to pull the paper flaps back downwards, which, after I fold this in half, to form the upright legs for in this case, the Cyclops. It's really very similar to how I made the legs for the ogre, Origami Ogre. So I fold this over, I'm folding it in half. See, these flaps here are going to be folded inside, see? So that those paper flaps are hidden underneath. I've also used this, this is how they make the legs for the Origami Harpy. Starts out in a similar way, where the Harpy's legs are folded thinner to give the effect of bird legs. Okay, so see, now it looks like this in half. Now, see, I take it and I start to pull down the paper point and squash it down. See? So see what I've done. This was up here, and then I pull it down and fold again. So you see, like this. And I'll do the same thing with this side here. So after I folded it up, now I'm folding it down. See? So at this stage, it's like that. See? And already, you see how it stands? See how it already stands with just that way. So that shows you the legs and the tail effect. See? Now, I take this and tuck it under, kind of like mountain fold it. See? I'm folding this under, that forms the knee of the leg. See, just like that. See this? See, this was like this. And then I tuck it under like that. So at the moment, that's a mountain fold. That's a mountain fold there. And I turn it back towards me. And I'm going to take that fold that I made, that mountain fold, and turn it into an inside reverse fold. So I point this point back up. And I'm tucking it in using the same folding creases. See? This was like this. And I push inwards. You see? It's using the same creases, but now it's an inside reverse fold instead of a mountain fold. See? See how that's forming an upright, see, an upright leg. See? I'll do the same thing with the other side. I'll do the same thing. Tuck in, again, do a mountain fold, so I'm tucking this in. See? Press down. So see, here's the mountain. This flap, see, this flap is like this. Now I tuck it down like this. See? Like that. And you see how that forms a knee? See? See, just like that. I think maybe I'll pull this one a little more forward after I did that inside reverse fold. Just pull this. See, again, this is what I mean by adjusting. Just to make that lower half of the leg come out a little more. Yeah. Okay. Where I did the mountain fold, I'm now just, because you want the legs to be both in the very same position on both sides for it to stand up well. Now again, I put the fold back up and turn that mountain fold into an inside reverse fold. So once again, see, once again, I push that inwards. See, I took that and I pushed it inwards using the same creases. So now it's an inside reverse fold. And you see again how, see? So it looks like this, see? Now it looks like that now. Now I tuck in, I do another inside reverse fold, pushing these points upwards, folding these points inward upwards to make a foot. There, see? Just like that. This point was down and I pushed it upwards. See? So it's an inside reverse fold going up to form the foot, and I will do the same thing with this foot over here. Do the very same thing. And you make sure that, again, that the feet line up, that you don't have one leg shorter than the other. Okay. Alright, now I have to do something with the tail, or otherwise it's going to just pitch forward. So now, here it is from the front. I open it up. Okay. And I fold this. I start folding in these creases inwards. Like this. See, this flap was like this. Now I fold it in like this. See? Now I'm going to do the same thing with this side. I'm going to do the same thing with this side over here. So, makes the tail thinner. Where I made the tail the thinnest was with the Minotaur. I'm not making it as thin for the Cyclops. Okay, so you can fold it in half. See how that made it thinner? See? So it looks like this from the front. These two flaps were outward like this. And I fold them like that. Then you can fold it over like that. Now put in two pleat folds so we can curve the tail back nicely. See, there's a little white here along the back. I try to so that white shows the least amount. But overall it's pretty good. So here I'm folding it so you have a couple of pleat folds. And now we're getting near the end of the hour here, but you know we're getting near the end, so there's not much more to go. And folding two thin pleat folds, and this is so that you can curve the tail. So just I find two pleat folds is enough. See, then you take it. Okay. So now I take it, push and pull to make this curve in the tail. See? See, this way the tail is no longer in a straight line, it now has a curve. See? When I do that, now that curve makes him lean on the tail. And as a result, the tail becomes a third leg. Now, see? So now you see how that stands up nicely. Now, I will cut in. I'm now cutting in. Near the end, I'm cutting a diagonal. See, you're in the outside paper, so that will form a arrow-like dragon tip. See, I fold this out. There, see, I did that. I'll do the same thing with the other one, identical. On the same side. I'm making little diagonal cuts here on the outside surface of the paper. So when I fold that out, see what happens? This was, see, I fold these flaps out. Now you have a dragon-like, you've got this arrow, you have this arrow tip at the end, which is like the end of a dragon's tail. See, with the ogre, I have the tail like a split tail, where it's split at the end. Here it's an arrow. See? So see, originally it was like that, and I made those two diagonal cuts on the outer surface of the paper See? So then you fold them out. See? See how it looks like an arrow? Like the end of an arrow. And you have that with a dragon tail. My dragon has that in my animation in Magic Arrows. And I have it here for the Cyclops. My Cyclops, and who's not, my Cyclops character that's in my animation, Claudius Cyclops, he doesn't have a tail. But since this is origami and I wanted to stand up, I said, oh, let's add a tail, Ray Harryhausen, he added his different animal details to his Cyclops, If it's a fantasy creature, you can add on different details and still be recognized as that classic creature. But it's like, there's so many different variations on dragons that are recognizable right away when you see it as a dragon. But you can really have fun with the different details. So my origami Cyclops has a tail that's like a dragon's tail. See, while the animated one I have in my animated videos, is one of the characters that's on a pirate ship, he doesn't have a tail. See, but it helps if your characters have tails when it comes to having them stand up. And a fantasy creature, it's easy to add on a tail if you want to. Okay, see, so now he's like that. See, we're getting there. We're nearing the end of this hour, and we're getting this. Now I fold. Next, I'm folding this flap down towards myself. See here, the flap was like this, and I fold it downwards. See, like that. Now I'm going to take this piece and put it together with this piece just to have it properly line up. See? Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Okay, see, as soon as I start putting it together, see how it's really getting there now? It's really getting there. Let me fold, see, I'm folding this now a little. I'm folding two of these side ends here. Okay, see, this part was like this. After I folded that flap downwards, this flap that was sticking up, I folded downwards. Now I'm folding this edge here. It makes it look nicer, I feel, from the back. See? See, these two points were like this, and then I fold them down. We're getting there. It's almost, we're nearing the end now. At the end of this hour. Doing it for almost an hour now. Okay, see, so it looks like this, so it looks like this from the back, and it looks like this from the front. See that? See how nice that looks? Put it together here like this. See those diagonal folds I just made up line up nicely with the shoulder blades on the back. So you see, it looks like this from the back. See, it looks like this from the back. And it looks like this from the front. See that? See how well that's looking? That's what tells you it's really working out. I think I'll draw a little more details. Let's see, on the top half before I glue them together. And it's coming along nicely. Okay, so I just want to draw on. So in some ways it's easier for me to draw on details while it's still flat, before I pump it out. I'm just drawing on scales now. My Cyclops has some scales on his body. You could have your Cyclops have no scales. His top half has scales. This one top half has scales, but the bottom half doesn't have scales. My ogre has no scales. I see him as being hairy. Okay. It's just easier to draw on some of these details before I pump the figure out, before I puff out his upper half. It's easier to draw these on before I do that. This is shaping up really nicely. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the glue and glue these two parts together. So I'm putting the glue, come on, come on. Come on out, here it comes. Just putting in the all-purpose glue. This is going to be a real nice one. I feel they've been coming out very well. And once again, I'll have to hold it together for about a minute. See, this is why I'm not against gluing or cutting some of the paper, because I come up with some really nice effects doing this. See, now I'll take this part here, this is the front part, and I will just fold in just the tip. See this tip that was here at the very bottom? I just tuck it under, just tuck it under a bit. Just like that, just tuck it underneath. Okay, so again, so you see I tucked that tip that was pointing down, I tucked it underneath here. See? I'm going to take this, see the glue on it? I put the glue, you see where I put the glue there? I'm just going to line the two up. See, once you get this together, see? Any excess glue that's sticking out there, you can wipe off. I got to pull this together. You have to hold it together. You have to hold these edges together while the glue is adhering, so that I need to do that for about a minute. There's a little excess glue, just wipe off on my fingers. Okay, so I'm just holding it for a moment, and once this glue is fully adhered, then I can pump out the body like I did with the Minotaur and the Merman, part 2. So I just have to, see, I'm just making sure that this, see, I have to hold it in place so that everything is properly lined up. It doesn't take long. Just once I get that properly together, then I can stick my finger into that hole. Remember, I cut off that, when I cut off this piece, when I cut it off, I can stick my finger into that space and I can pump it out. Okay, see? It's just holding it there. So, I just wanted to adhere enough before I stick my finger in and start popping it out. Give it a chance to dry enough. But you can see how well it's, see right now it's not pumped out yet, but look at how good it looks. Look at how good it looks like that before I even pump it out. When I pump it out, that makes a big difference. See? See, doesn't that look really, that to me that looks great. But it'll look better once I pump it out, once I inflate it. And then the piece will be essentially finished. I think I might draw on a few spots on the back, but otherwise it'll be complete. That's at the end of an hour. Okay. See, it's not the intricacy of the origami dragon that uses foiled paper, but you see how nice the effects you can get combining the different papers. And again, I made up this torso, this muscular torso, just like I did for the Minotaur and the Merman. None of my books have this paper torso that I made up. I think it's a great effect. It really makes a difference to the whole thing. I thought, oh, if I stick my finger into the hole there at the base of the neck, I can just pump the paper out with my fingers. Okay, this is almost there. I just like to give it a chance to fully adhere. Okay. I think I'll just go check on the camera just to see the time on the camera. And then when I come right back to this, I'll be ready to pump the paper out. Shows you how the time goes fast. According to the counter on my camcorder, it's only an hour and 17 minutes. Rather than I was figuring it was an hour. But anyway, I know I've done a really good job with this. Okay, so this is adhered enough. I just wanted to give it a chance. Now, see where I cut out that triangle? This is where I cut it off here. I stick my finger in there. I pump it out. See, automatically. You see, as soon as I do that, you see what starts to happen? See? You see that? As soon as I do that, see that? And then I start to pinch. So I'm doing it right now. I'm pinching the creases that I made earlier. That's why you need to let it dry just a little so that you can do that and it holds together. So see, I'm pinching this in, I'm using the creases, see? I'm doing it right here, see? So it's like popping it out. See? I'm pinching in the creases, I'm folding, I'm pinching where the creases are to make them stick out more. I thought that was an hour, and it's an hour and 17 minutes according to the camcorder. Even with me looking at the time on my DVD recorder, time went faster than I thought, but this is still being done at a good rate. Okay, so it's just putting in these details now, and now I'm folding in the paper here to make the collarbone. Okay, so it's an hour and 17 minute long video. Hour and 17 minutes on the counter. I thought I got it to just hitting the hour. It turns out an hour and 17 minutes is still good for this, I would say. It's still good for this. See? See, I'm just see. See, I'm pressing it inwards, I'm pumping it out. I'm getting those folds, those creases I made earlier. I'm pinching them out. See? That's it. And then I'll bring out the two other models. Okay. See, I'm just pinching in the creases I made earlier to make them stick out. See, I took this paper that was here and I press it down in there to form a, to form a triangular collarbone. You see? But you see what a difference that makes. Now I put it back down. You can make this tail curve back a little more. There you go. See that? You see that? That is essentially it. At the end of 1 hour and 17 minutes, I thought I was doing it shorter than that, but that's still good. See? You see that? You can bend back this, make this tail curve back a little more. Yeah, that's better. See? So he's got a nice straight stance. See? He's got brown legs and a brown tail that ends with a dragon-like diamond, arrowhead, and you have this muscular paper torso. See? See, again, I can stick my finger in there, push this out a little more, but still keep those creases. You don't want to lose the creases. See? He's got the pointy ears, he's got the angry face. There, see, hold towards the camera. See, so it looks like that. See? And I'll bring over the two other models over here. Okay, see, so here he is in the center. Here's this one over here, like that. And here's a blue one over here. See? So you see the variety again. See, I'm going to move over here. Try to get them. And I'll show them from different angles and close up and closer shots of them. But you see, that's, you see how you have that great you see how that combination there. Let me go take a look at it from the camera's point of view. Okay, yeah, see, that looks good. Okay, it's now 1 hour and 23 minutes. Okay. Okay. Let me just move it over just a little bit. I like to get a threesome shot in there. So you see the new one is the center one here, and this is a smiling blue one, and this is a smiling pink one over here. The blue one has the friendly one. But they all have the same muscular torso. They all have that same muscular torso effect. Get the face to fold a little bit, fold the face down a little downwards like that. Yeah, that's good, I think. Okay, okay. Okay, so after that, let me take two of them back out, and I just want to show you to show you. I'm taking these characters out and putting in, this is a brand new ogre that uses the same paper torso. I just wanted to show you. You see, remember this is my earlier ogre right here. Just to show you the difference. See, this ogre here doesn't have the muscular paper torso. He doesn't have the muscular paper torso, and this one does. Yeah. See. Just to show you the difference. Okay, I just wanted you to see that difference. See that the ogre, you got the two ogres here now on screen, and you have the ogre on the right side who has a darker green. He has that muscular torso, and the ogre from the How to Make Origami Ogres Part 1, 2, and 3 has a convex chest. He doesn't puff out. So you see how the muscular torso I came up with a minute ago really makes a big difference with the same creature. And you can take everything I did with the Origami Cyclops and apply it to the ogre. The difference is that you don't, instead of drawing two eyes, you know, one eye on each side of the nose, you draw one big eye over the nose, and you also maybe don't bother to put on the paper horn on top of the head. And you can add on the paper horn, but my point is, if you draw two eyes with one eye on each side of the nose, and instead of having one eye, big eye over the nose, then you'll have an ogre instead of a cyclops. It's that one eye that turns the creature into a cyclops. But you can see the big difference in how that folded chest that I made up makes to the whole figure. So I wanted you to see that. So there's the open-mouthed ogre, which I did earlier, and there's a closed-mouthed ogre. They both have the same characteristics, but the ogre with the torso, muscular torso, clearly looks more stronger because he's got that big, big muscular torso. I think they're both very good versions of my same animated ogre monster in the Colosseum that I have in my hand-drawn animation. You can find the Colosseum on my channel page along with my other animated videos. Anyway, I just wanted you to see that. So I'll show some of the other figures from different angles, and that'll be the end of the video. So I hope you again enjoyed that, and I think this video's come out pretty good. So take a look at my other hand-drawn animated videos: the Winged Sandals, the Colosseum, the Black Widow, the Magic Arrows, and Balder's Egg. You can find them on my channel page and elsewhere on YouTube with my hand-drawn animation, thousands of drawings. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video.